We're at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center one more time, ladies and gentlemen, here this weekend as the Toronto Monarchs play back-to-back. Finished at about 10:30 last night. It is now 3 o'clock on Sunday, so quick turnaround for the Monarchs after losing 17-16 to St. Catharines Shockwave. Craig Wendy back in net as Robbie Cruz got the start yesterday. Chopping match already going on the far side, right in front of referee John Sutcliffe. He's joined by Avery Enmoden and Mark Thompson on the floor, the three officials for today's game between the Toronto Monarchs in their gold and royal purple, I guess you call those jerseys, working right to left in the first period. And the first save out of the way for Ryan Masters, leading the Peterborough Timbermen in their navy blue with the reddish orange, I guess, shoulder caps and white letters. And I'm Matthew Carrick in for the JVI Sports Network. As Peterborough's going to get the opening goal here, Dan Meikle on the crease takes the assist from Blake Kenny. Tim Bergen, in addition to the Timbermen lineup today, wearing number 7. As number 7 for the Monarchs, Michael Gillen crouches over top. He beats Brett Coons for that face-off. It goes straight back to Craig Wendy, though, out of his crease. Peterborough, the only team in the league playing only one game this weekend, as everyone else got a double dip, and that made a complete and utter mess of the standings, which we'll get to as this game unfolds, which has big-time implications for Arena Lacrosse League quarterfinal day, which is March the 31st, with teams, venues, and times still to be determined. Be sure to visit arenalacrosseleague.ca following next week's final games of the regular season for the playoff schedule. Shot from Brandon Muse, partially blocked. Doesn't get through to Masters. So Peterborough will pick up and come jogging up the near side, led by Doug Utting, who wears number 21. Here this afternoon, Justin Kula around the side. Back to Meikle, the opening goal scorer. Hard shot from the outside. There by Matt McLeod, wearing number 24. Spencer James, the swim move around him after picking up the loose ball. And blue bucket there for Adam J., the Toronto Rock practice roster player, playing here in the Arena Lacrosse League. Good opportunity for some of these players to play throughout the winter as a wide shot hits off the backboards, and it's going to bounce the length of the floor from Tyler Ferreira. The ALL is regarded as the top winter indoor league outside the pro ranks, providing a high-level development league for players with pro ambitions. Many of these players have been drafted into the NLL, have come through the junior ranks, play either senior A or B in the winter time. So if you're, or in the summer rather, as the Monarchs look down the floor there for Jordan Critch, who is unable to pick up. They're without Jordan Dance once again today, and Connor Campbell, Tyler Campbell, Niall Caravello, Kian McQueen, and Jordan Magnuson. As we said, Craig Wendy with the start. He'll be backed up by Joel Watson today. Keeping outside, Blake Kenny continues to dance around. Another shot there from Meikle off the glass. And a big collision in front of the Monarchs bench. The over and back violation is waved off. Arena Lacrosse League does play under the NLL rulebook. So 8 to get over half, and you can't cross back again once you've gotten there. And a 30-second shot clock, which you just heard, sound against the Peterborough Timbermen, which allows the Monarchs to work through here. Brandon Ben down into the corner for Ferreira. 15 left in the shot clock. They come back up top. Alistair Warren, a shot down the pipe. And crouching over top of that is Ryan Masters. Ben going to keep us on our toes today. He's worn those Dawson Brothers compression, I guess, leggings all season, but they've been white normally, and now he's got black ones as a crease dive attempt there from Kenny. Ends up going wide, and that'll be the crease violation. Jay with it finds a man Off the bench, Reed Board now. Backs away from the middle, which right now is wide open. And now Board cuts through, takes the shot, masters the save from a pretty easy angle. Rebound bounces right to Doug Udding, though, late in the 8 count as Udding keeps cutting back and forth. And he got across the line with about half a second left. Udding through the middle now, Fred Hartley. He'll come to the outside, gets a step on Warren as it's played back for Dan Meikle. Peterborough Lakers product. We'll see a lot of Peterborough and Clarington represented here this afternoon, as we do when the Oshawa Outlaws play. Peterborough trying to keep pace now with Oshawa and Six Nations. Oshawa losing to the Snipers last night at the ILA. And Friday night, the Snipers a big victory over the Whitby Steelhawks. They were dead last coming into the weekend, as Kenny's got it again here at the track. But 2 wins for the Snipers have moved them into a 5-8 record, which is good enough to tie them for 5th after entering the weekend in 7th place. Jay takes a big hit, recovers, and reaches across the goaltender to tie this thing up. The Toronto Rock practice roster players, some of their brass in attendance today. This is the home of their offices, and big hit there. Took a couple of them, did Michael Gillen. Got up, looked a little stunned. He'll head off to the bench with fist bumps and walks straight past the trainer. Here's Dustin Caravello to Ferreira on the far side. I thought he was going to dive for that. Goes to Ben in front of the crease instead. Quick release shot, masters the save. And we've played just over 6 minutes here in the quarter, tied up, and there's the Wendy special, the split save, as he knocks that one into the corner. See a lot of that from Craig Wendy, who's having a breakout season here in the Arena Lacrosse League. Part of the big reason why the Monarchs come into today's game with a 9-3 record, 9-2 coming into the weekend, as they look to solidify top spot. Oh, speaking of top spot, that's where Warren put that over the left shoulder. We will take a media timeout at the halfway mark of the quarter, as that's in the NLL rulebook. I think the only NLL ref on the floor right now is Mark Thompson, although they announced John Sutcliffe as the crew chief. Usually the guys who have only played in the summer, that rule passes them by, but we'll see. Matt Hodgins, another shot there, masters with the save as it bounces back for Warren again. To the half boards for Dustin Caravello. We'll see a lot of the Orangeville Northman alumni here this afternoon, as Brendan Muse spent time in Mimico in their Junior B system. Had a couple scoring records for them for a number of years, and then he gets drilled after taking a shot. Eventually got traded in his grad year to the Green Gales, before then spending time here in winter ball and then going south of the border at one point. Collision in front of Wendy. The ball rolls harmlessly into his crease, and now Jay will jog it up over center. We're in the officials' timeout territory. Next non-goal whistle should be the timeout, as it's played up top for Caravello. He goes far side into the corner now. Up top for Critch. Caravello thought he saw space to sneak through, and the shot clock's going to expire. He'll just lift it on net, and that will be the officials' timeout. Good goaltender battle brewing so far. 2-1 for the Monarchs here in the first quarter. Just under 7 minutes remain here in the first quarter, as the Monarchs have jumped out to a 2-1 lead. Adam Jay and Alistair Warren so far. Dan Meikle for the Timbermen, as they have possession now, looking for Meikle again in the middle, As this is going to be ball down. Fred Hartley can't pick up. Just going to roll towards Justin Kula. Big collision on the near side. Kula. Couple chops here. I believe this is Gillen trying to run out with it. Gillen retains possession as Muse will cross center. Patrick Miles, the last defender to get to the bench. 10 seconds left in the shot clock as Ben comes over center. Over the center line, I guess, of the offensive set. Caravello through a crowd. Gets through and Masters makes the save. Still a lot of white knee pads over on that left side of the floor. Didn't quite see that call. It may have been an 8-second count, though, as Ben will stay on here. Play offense. Here's Warren and Caravello. 3 righty set. As they work it to the far side, Ferreira. Him and Critch on the left side. This one bounces off the glass, and it will go over and back. It looked like it may have hit off a Timbermen player. John Sutcliffe didn't have a good angle. He was asking Mark Thompson, who had his back. Wouldn't have seen it hit the Peterborough player, but the initial shot was going to go over and back, so it goes against the Monarchs. As Utting and Kula will play catch up top for now. Now to the far side. Cutting in through, stepping up and taking a shot, Tim Bergen, who wasn't very well known here in Southern Ontario until a couple of years ago when the St. Catharines Saints played in the President's Cup, and he surprised everybody from the Ottawa area. Interception here, as I was watching a 2-man battle over in the corner with the referee standing there. They're going to let him play today, it looks like. As now Utting is back out there on offense to Bergen again. Bergen, Blake Kenny. Kenny takes it all the way to the crease, and Wendy stands tall and makes a chest save. Immediately pushed up the floor to Patrick Miles. As we said, very quick in transition, this Monarchs team. There's another big shot and a save for Masters. We're going to get our first penalty of the game, as I think taking a slash there was Colton Armstrong, and he'll come in with a twist shot. Wendy with the save, rebounds rolling all the way up to center. We'll continue to play on until possession changes here. That's a difference in the NLL to the summer game. Extra attacker is on. They delayed the change a bit, did Joe Sullivan over on that Peterborough bench. Tried to come back up top for Mikkel, and that'll allow the Monarchs to touch up. And it'll be a slashing call. 2018 season, the Junior Timbermen sweeping all 3 divisions, U13, 18, and 22 over the Six Nations Snipers. So congratulations to the Junior Timbermen, as they take all 3 divisions, looking for more teams and perhaps divisions in that league in 2019. Be sure to visit arenalacrosseleague.ca for more information on that. Jay to Caravello quickly on the crease, a save and a rebound and a goal for the Monarchs here on the power play. Trying to catch a number there as it went Jay, Caravello, and then Ferreira, with Patrick Miles in the box for the slash. You can see just how fast on that play the Monarchs are able to get it up the floor. Bergen, the face-off win, getting it back to Caravello. Quickly as he stepped up with it in the back of the stick. A reminder of the face-off rule change. You can only take 1 step with it in the back of your stick now. As Jordan Critch sees that one bypass him. Back in the day of winter ball, you used to see Mike Atwood win the face-off, race down and score with the ball in the back of his stick the entire way, but those days, I guess, are now gone. Justin Kula, far side, Hartley. Up top, Mikkel, as the lefties continue to cycle. 2 of them cut to the middle, and that one destined for the top corner rolls down the back of Wendy, And he's going to go for a bit of a walk here as Mark Vredenberg scores on the power play in what's been a little bit of a slow pace. And like we said, Monarchs quick turnaround after the primetime game at 8 o'clock last night on St. Patrick's Day. So you can read into all of that what you will. One-handed pickup now for Gillen as Gillen comes in, takes the shot, and the save off the foot of Masters. Couple whacks there for Ferreira, nothing too egregious on Cole McWilliams as he brought it up the floor. Couple shoves there for Fred Hartley coming through. Hartley going right back at Mason Wright though. That is a great individual battle going on the near side, but stepping up with the interception. Here's Matt Hodgins, and he's going to be all alone. Hodgins versus Masters, and Hodgins shoots it wide. No reset, so I don't think that Masters got a piece. As Peterborough resets, Kula to the corner for Kenny, who goes up top. Bergen into the middle here. Number of stick checks on Matt McLeod, and Kenny wasn't ready for the return pass. We get interference on the far side where Reed Board is able to pick up. Here's Jay, a 3-on-1 for the Monarchs. Back for Warren, a number of moves, and then a goal. Alistair Warren, his second of the game. Again in transition. They just have an unbelievable transition game, this Toronto Monarchs team, led by Blaine McCauley, Mike Faulkner, and Ryan Marshall. And with Peterborough on the floor today, they're led by Joe Sullivan, Jason Tass, Derek Croak, and Mark Croak, and Ryan Dance as well. And we want to congratulate him being announced as the junior, I believe it's the Junior A Lakers of Peterborough on Twitter earlier this weekend. So we look forward to seeing him at the Memorial Center in their quest to head to the Minto Cup when Junior A season starts. This one goes wide. It's going to bounce off the backboards and out of play. 28.7 on the clock. Masters getting the call to the bench here as Peterborough's going to go extra attacker. Caleb Bingley. He'll give to Meikle. And Peterborough's going to take their time and set up with the net empty down the other end. This will be last shot play here for Peterborough. They'll collapse now. Up top in the middle, the shot there comes from Meikle, and it's wide into the corner. Still had about 2 seconds to get a shot off, and they did on Wendy, but there's the horn to end our brief intermission. As you can see, the teams have switched sides, so the Monarchs will go left to right here in this second quarter. Peterborough right to left on your screen as it's pulled out. I believe Brett Coons now as he turns. Thought I was looking at a 20 who we don't have on our roster, but it's the 10 of Brett Coons as Meikle gets the stick and ball checked out of his hands. One hand carry now for the 20 of the Monarchs, which is Patrick Miles. Miles looking for help. We got a delayed penalty as Wendy comes to the bench here. And the Monarchs with 10 on their shot clock are going to set up as Critch goes to the far side. Critch, looked like he had a shot, but dedicated to the play, going to Caravello. Here's a rip, and they're going to discuss. Mark Thompson says goal. I'm not sure, but he thought about it for a while. John Sullivan wants an explanation. I don't know that he's going to get one. Bit of confusion over at the timekeeper's box. We congratulated the Junior Timbermen beating the Snipers in the Frosters Active Kids Circle K Junior ALL. We'll congratulate the Six Nations women's team for defeating Paris for the championship in the Junior ALL Women's League. First year of that league as well, Six Nations over Paris. So if you're one of our female players and want to play box in the winter, there'll be more information on the 2019 season coming up at arenalacrosseleague.ca. Shot there, saved by Masters. A weak attempt from the right side. Masters the save, up for Armstrong. 5-2 now in favor of the Monarchs on that last goal. Toronto trying to lock up first seed as they sit 9-3. The only team that can catch them is Paris, coming into tonight 8-5, although the Monarchs hosting Final Four weekend here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, April 7th and 8th. Will have a bye into that tournament as the host team. Working out of the corner, that one tipped off the stick of the Peterborough player up into the safety netting. So Spencer James, his pass over the top. Comes to the near side, stutter step from Reed Board. To the boards for Critch. Caravello far side. Ben now. And Muse. Now Critch. A lot of movement here on this side as Caravello shoots over a crowd. Everybody moved over to that side. And Monarchs player went through the crease. I believe it was Muse as Masters picks up the loose ball. Timbermen up the near side now. Joe Wasson. Once a Minnesota Swarm draft pick, discovered in training camp he had a tumor. As Wendy makes the save off that shot, Joe Wasson returned to winter ball shortly thereafter, played with his brother for the first time. And he's been back and forth in winter ball for the last about 4 years or so. Luke Laidlaw. High shot there. Alistair Warren off the backboards. One away from his hat trick already. And the shot clock's going to expire here on Toronto as Coons took a chop there at Laidlaw as he was headed off. Big pile up in front of the net. Here as Colton Armstrong goes down hard. And that'll be a penalty as Wendy makes this save. It goes your way. By the time you watch this coming weekend, the weekend of March the 25th, with only a couple games left next weekend before quarterfinals on March 31st. And then Final Four weekend here, April 7th and 8th. A bounce shot from Bergen. Skips off the glass and goes way high. Winning the stick battle is Justin Kula. And Dustin Caravello can play both ends of the floor. And we may see that here as he stepped up on defense. It's him and Critch. Critch is going to feed Caravello, and his sidearm shot saved by Masters as Caravello was running out of space and had a defender bearing down on him. Minute 15 left in the penalty. Just under 11 minutes left in the quarter. It's a 3-goal lead for the Monarchs. As Meikle puts it in the corner. Meikle again up top now, Kenny. In the corner, near side, Bergen. Played back for McLeod. Shot comes. Wendy goes low, makes the save. And Spencer James immediately running up the near side as now it'll be slowed down by Eric Krepicek. 45 left in the penalty kill, only 15 remaining here. So Peterborough will get at least one more opportunity on this power play as Ferreira takes it out wide. Both teams have one down the other end of the floor as Ferreira got tripped up there, lost the ball in the process, and it's picked up by Colton Armstrong, and he'll slow things down. It was a 3-on-2, and now the numbers will not quite even up as there's still the one man in the box for 15 seconds. But traditional 5-on-4 power play set now in favor of the Timbermen. Cutting through Bergen. This one bounces into the corner. And Caravello falls from his backside. No way. Oh, I thought that was going to go right in the stick of Jordan Critch. That was going to be one of the most disgusting plays that we've seen in the Arena Lacrosse League. If those two connected, that includes seeing a Craig Wendy goal scored last weekend. Initial shot attempt blocked, and then Fred Hartley gets a second opportunity that goes off the glass, and they're still fighting over who's going to take it up the floor. And it looks like it's going to be Patrick Miles, who now gets the fresh 30 seconds right at center. Miles to the front door where Alistair Warren steps on. Miles was tangled up there by with Matt McLeod. And that delays the Monarch change even more as Luke Laidlaw got tripped up, tried to shovel it towards the net, and ended up getting it wide. And now Ferreira gets the glove high on Colton Armstrong. Armstrong takes another chop. That was, I didn't see anything to precipitate that from Ferreira. As a shot there from Kenny into the stick of Wendy. He goes straight to the front door. Oh, what a pass from Craig Wendy. We've seen that all year, but great awareness by Peterborough and anticipation to get down the floor as Ben still just holding on to it with no opportunities. Laidlaw pushed outside, stumbled briefly. Now for Muse. Up top, Caravello rips a shot. Arm save made by Masters. And Brendan Muse will regain possession here. Muse with it, under 8 minutes to go. Ferreira, far side. Caravello, someone got a stick check on that as Masters made the stick save to keep that out of the 5-hole. And Doug Utting will bring this up over center. Utting spent some time out west as well. One time Nanaimo Timbermen player, now with the Peterborough Timbermen. As Blake Kenny accepts this pass on the far side. No look pass now to the near side as there was a couple players cutting through and Blake Kenny couldn't get there in time. 3-on-1 for the Monarchs, led by Ben on his wrong side. Pardon me, that's Jordan Critch who takes the shot and will score. As Doug Utting will work on Alistair Warren at this face-off dot. Ball rolled toward Miles. Warren had fallen. Now Jay looking to the far side. Warren and Utting collided right in front of the penalty box, close to the open door, and I think Miles was a bit upset at the hit from Utting. Gave him an extra little shove as Ferreira will now cut back. Utting slides over, was looking for the big hit. As the shot went through, Masters the save as Miles and Utting still having words. Miles on the bench talking to Utting. It's Ferreira now with 15 on the shot clock. Over to the far side, Warren cuts through Ben. Here's the shot from Ferreira and a sprint after it for Laidlaw. Ferreira takes an extra slash, looks at the official. Again, we told you earlier, they're going to let these guys play today. As here's a shot. Oh, that hits Ferreira in the foot, and he goes down hard. Shot from up top from Ben. Hidden ball play on the far side. Ferreira came close to the bench, but didn't make the change. Nearly too many men. As he took that shot off the foot, and he shrugs off the trainer. But I'm sure it doesn't feel good as Nick Karam will now push into the attacking zone. Karam heading off here as the shot does come from Justin Kula. Recovered by McLeod. To the far side, Meikle taking the floor. 20 on the shot clock here, 5.5 in the quarter. Sidearm shot, now another one here. Wendy saves both Mick Williams and McLeod. Rebound Monarchs and quickly up the floor, led by Adam J. Out the front door, Ben to Caravello in the corner. Ferreira did not miss a shift now as he steps onto the carpet after taking that shot off his foot. Ferreira open on the crease, takes the shot, and Masters makes the leg save. Caravello in the corner as the shot clock resets. Near side, Laidlaw looking for space. Ferreira hanging onto it behind the net. He'll go to Ben. Caravello the pick in front, and Ben the bouncer through the legs of Masters. And Caravello won't get an assist for setting the pick, but he cleared space in front. Ben's got 2, Warren's got 2. Warren picks up an assist on the goal. As Coons and Gillen do battle again at the face-off dot, still fighting over it as Utting took a big swipe. Miles ends up with the possession off the bench. No one picks up Warren as he looks to go through the legs of Masters, and Warren denied by the crease. And that'll take us to the horn with 4:17 left. 5-goal lead for the Monarchs as they have all the momentum right now, looking to lock up top spot. We'll be right back. Peterborough have Masters on the bench. They start with 6 men in the set. That'll just get the set started. And I imagine Masters, well, thought someone would have gone to the bench by now, but they haven't, as it'll be straight 6. Now Masters goes as Justin Kula hops in with 10 on the shot clock. And Fred Hartley, not sure if he heard the footsteps of Spencer James or not. Oh, look at the pass from Wendy and the finish from Critch. Oh, my. Almost thought we were getting a goalie change there, but Brett Paris comes out to pick something up off the turf. A couple years ago in the Founders Cup in St. Catharines, Paris with the Capital Region Axemen, the same team that Tim Bergen plays for, or played for at the time. Paris opened some eyes there as he had a couple fantastic games. Moving screen called there as Matt Hodgins was on the back of Joe Wasson. Now Wasson takes a bit of a high stick. We saw that call last night in the NLL rule book. That is now an automatic 5. There is no minor for high sticking as Kenny takes a shot. The Masters saves, but the rebound ended up going out of play into the screening. 3 minutes left here. Now a 6-goal lead, 8-2. For the Toronto Monarchs here on home floor. In about 18 hours after their last game. Shot and a save from Wendy. The second one on the rebound as well. Tim Bergen can't come up with it cleanly, or they may have had 3 opportunities. But the defensive rebound game of the Toronto Monarchs, a big reason why their record is 9-3, of course. Play of Craig Wendy, part of that as well, as Luke Laidlaw dances around. Warren Hill had a great goaltending performance last night. Oshawa led the way as this shot, a sidearm shot from Ferreira through a screen. And that'll be the day for Ryan Masters as Brett Paris will come in. You can see the size of Paris, a real tall goaltender. Crossbar comes up to about the middle of his back, right in line with the bottom of the Timbermen logo on his chest. Meanwhile, Craig Wendy standing straight up. It's the bottom of his shoulder cap, so Paris has the size, hasn't seen much action yet this year, and real fidgety in the crease. This is my first look at him here this winter, but here's Warren. All alone in front, Ferreira, and either the post or the arm of Paris, but when he gets down low, there isn't much room. Ferreira will get a second opportunity, and that one definitely hits the outside of the post. And then Ferreira over the top of Colton Armstrong. Armstrong wanted a call, didn't get it. Monarchs try the left side of the floor, and Caravello denied there by Paris. That ball hits the rafters as Paris was looking to the front door. Peterborough bench wants to know why there was no minor interference. Minute 30 remaining here in the quarter as the Monarchs will set up again. Just resilient, relentless. This Monarchs team, it seems like we've been looking at this end of the floor the entire first quarter. As the shot there from Ben, partially deflected and bounces towards the crease. Paris straight up to Cole McWilliams. And spectacular saves, and do remember Paris for his passing at the Jack Gatecliff Arena when we did that Founders Cup. Final minute here in the first half. And, pardon me, Matt Hodgins steps on the line to give the Outlaws possession. We'll see if they try and go 2 for 1 here. Early shot, off the post. I think Armstrong was looking for more than that. Bounces down the floor. Here's Reed Board through the 5-hole of Paris after a couple fakes. And 10 first half goals. As Gillen in there along with Caleb Bingley. And referee got in the way on the near side as a shot there from Justin Kula. Timbermen gain possession and they'll call timeout to get Paris to the bench for the extra attacker. And 25 seconds remains in the half. Paris had come off the bench sprinting towards the net with 6 guys on the floor. They had to call him back quick. Nearly too many men here for Peterborough. Shot clock a non-factor, so they'll take this all the way down. And in a couple seconds, we'll see what play Joe Sullivan drew up. Comes all the way up top. Nick Karam, there's the shot, and there's the rebound as well. They'll get another opportunity. Full splits for Wendy at the buzzer. Denies Matt McLeod. Wendy has been a huge factor here in the first period as the Monarchs lead 10-2. Looking to lock up first place as we take you to the halftime break. This is Arena Lacrosse League action brought to you by the JVI Sports Network. We start the second half with a procedure call against the Toronto Monarchs, who lead 10-2 after the opening half. Matthew Carrick in with the JVI Sports Network as we continue our season-long coverage of the Arena Lacrosse League. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is a new one that we've created on JVI Video Channel 2, as well as the first one if you're not subscribed there yet. And sign up for notifications to know every game that we post. Brett Paris remains in the net for Peterborough, allowing 1 goal in about 4 minutes of relief in that third quarter. Muse with a low shot, skips off the turf. Paris down low makes the save. His sidearm shot too hot and high for Fred Hartley. Goes all the way to Craig Wendy. He'll end up pushing it to Caravello via Adam J. 10-2 in the period, in the first half rather, opening 30 minutes as Caravello takes a shot. Pair of goals for Critch and Ben and Warren, as well as Tyler Ferreira. Adam J. Reed Board with a single. The only 2 goal scorers for Peterborough, Dan Meikle and Mark Vredenberg on the power play. As once again, Jay picks it up out of the corner and will send it over center, where Brandon Ben is waiting for it. Ben gets it back. Ferreira, far side. Dancing around. Big pick from Gillies comes from behind the net, as it'll be picked up by Peterborough. I think that was Cam Garland out of the corner, gaining the possession as he got up, facing the double team. Timbermen bring it up over center. Kula. Pardon me, this is Blake Kenny. trying to make it to the far side, but it's cleanly intercepted here by Jordan Critch. Critch will find a trailer, and Reed Board can't hang on. As there's 2.5 minutes gone, still waiting for our opening goal of the half. Not many shots to speak of either. Push off there from Mason Wright. Pick from Board, and Board will get it back. Board 3 to shoot, now 2 as they get it up top, and a hard shot there. May have caught Paris in the mask, and I think he's asking for time here from John Sutcliffe just as Doug Utting was about to take off. And Paris will check the mask. Not an immediate stop. Those of you familiar with summer, especially minor ball. Immediate stoppage when it hits the goaltender's helmet or mask. But in that case, he just wanted to make sure everything was okay and asked Sutcliffe for time, which officials, when the goalie's safety, especially the head, is involved, will grant it. That's going to be a moving screen as Tim Bergen got on the back of his man. Not really too egregious, but knocked off his feet. Was the defender, as Caravello will shovel it up top for Ben. Ben and Caravello again. Caravello still looking for help, goes to Warren up top. Caravello far side now. Couldn't find Luke Laidlaw as it bounced off the boards. And Peterborough with possession. Again, they try the long pass, and again, it's past Tim Bergen on a bounce from Wendy to Caravello, as his long pass does work. And I think Caravello looking for a change now. He's been out there for about 2.5 minutes. Laidlaw and Muse. Brendan Muse taking Ferreira's spot on the far side now. It's Caravello. Turns it again. Back for Warren on the crease. They had their near side open, and Mason Wright couldn't come up with it cleanly. So maybe a break for Peterborough, as the Monarchs don't miss those opportunities very often. Again, if you're just joining us there without Jordan Dance, as Wendy sets a big pick on Blake Kenny for the second night in a row. Jordan Dance unavailable. As Reed Board, now they shovel it to the far side, where Laidlaw got it in front of Paris, and quickly up the floor here to Blake Kenny. Being spied by Adam J. He backs into a big pick. Kenny straight to the net, a bouncer in front of Wendy. Not sure if he saved that. They called reset as it rolls into the corner. Initial player falls. That's Kenny. Recovered by Fred Hartley. Bergen from the far side. Kenny now. Kenny winds and fires a rising shot that finds the back glass. As Hartley now, his shot wide as well. Kenny on the reset. Couple whacks as Justin Kula brings it out. Shot from Bergen. Wendy able to save that, gets it back in the stick. And he'll lift it up for Matt Hodgins. So finally an extended offensive possession for the Peterborough Timbermen, but unable to come away with anything, as we've played 6 minutes now in this third quarter. Here's Caravello. Far side shot, and Ferreira, the whistle's gone. Ferreira saw it loose. Paris wasn't sure where it was and wasn't willing to move. Heads up here as Warren was honing in on Dan Meikle with speed. A lot of conversation here defensively. Gillies falls, but James is going to recover it on the far side. Where's the captaincy for this Monarchs team? Did so in Barrie as well back a couple years ago in winter ball. Spencer James right after his man, and hard They're into Colton Armstrong. Armstrong has been firing up some Toronto players here today. Oh, I thought Spencer James was going to go there as Armstrong took him into the boards, and James went right back at Armstrong. And I guess they just called it a moving pick. Alrighty then. This one rattles around in the rafters, and did it come down? Finally lands up in the owner's box. Fred Hartley to the far side. Ducking in, Matt McLeod dives and scores. Finally, the Timbermen able to get one in behind Craig Wendy, and that's our opening goal of the quarter as well, of the second half. And it makes it 10-3 for Peterborough. We'll see if they can gain momentum off that. But it's going to be Sean Gillies just fired up right here as he was taken down. Him and Caleb Bingley got tied up, and we heard Gillies curse from all the way up here. He thought that Bingley took him down illegally, wanted a call, and then went after him. And he's still fired up as he drops the ball carrier right on the crease. Wendy from his knees still puts it to the spot from Caravello. That will never not be a great play. Here's Caravello. Talked about it before. The transition play of this Monarchs defense. Their defense led by Wendy, but sometimes their offense as well, as he can fire it up the floor and put it right on a dime, as Caravello is just going to lift it over his shoulder in the corner, and that should be the official's timeout. The horn does sound. Only one goal so far, and it's the way of Peterborough, but they still trail by 7. Peterborough back with it. Meikle, one of 3 goal scorers only for this Timbermen team here. Kula takes the shot. Wendy the save. Kula through the crease, though, looking for the rebound as Adam Jay will race up the near side. 6.5 left in a 10-3 Toronto Monarchs lead. As we get down to the final couple games here of the Arena Lacrosse League regular season. Playoffs start on March 31st. All 3 quarterfinal games. 4 on the shot clock, and they don't get one off as Paris was going to his left. But March 31st, teams, matchups, venues, times, all of that yet to be determined. Finishing touches will be put on those details, if not this week, then next, for sure. As we could have, well, we're going to deal with a crease dive here from McLeod first. Made contact with Wendy, and Hodgins at least had words, but nothing physical. But coming into today, if Peterborough were to win here this afternoon, would have meant a 3-way tie for 5th. Paris left the crease and then carried it back in. So the back in call, just a mistake there for Brett Paris. It's looking increasingly likely that Peterborough will finish in the 7th spot after tonight with their 4-9 record should they lose here. 5 minutes left in the third. They're down by 7. Caravello pushes it to the far side. Muse ducks out of the way of the Ferreira shot. Paris with the save. Hard work on the near side. Mason Wright staring down Doug Utting. And some parting words between those two. Here's Meikle. Gillies stepping up on him. Meikle from McLeod now to Kula. And Meikle, Bergen calling out a play. Back for Kula. He takes a shot, and Wendy, his rebound control has also been superb in this game. As Adam J finds Laidlaw off the bench. And now for Warren. Peterborough 4-8, Toronto 9-3 coming into today. Oshawa 5-8, Six Nations 5-8. So Peterborough still have 19 minutes or so to turn this thing around as this pass goes errant. Cole McWilliams will get it over center as Fred Hartley spun around at the line. Could have had a three-way tie for 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then we'd be doing some math to see who would face Oshawa, Whitby, and Paris in those quarterfinal matchups. 5 on the clock as they walk it through. Fred Hartley the shot, Wendy the save, and Wendy the reach with the stick. Will take it off the wall, and it becomes Monarch possession as quickly as Peterborough lost it. Closing in on 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. St. Catharines sitting 7-6. They have one more game left. Paris 8-5. Whitby 7-7. Could be a wild card as their season is finished now with their back-to-back wins, or back-to-back games, pardon me, this weekend. Both losses for Whitby, as Six Nations went from last place 3-8 to 5-8 on the weekend. Oh, the tap on the crease gets through Paris, and 12:34 of shutout ball with 2:26 remaining here, making it 11-3. Couple players staring each other down at the line. I was wondering, along with the officials, if anything was going to happen. Kula was lined up there, I believe, with Hodgins. Staring through each other's face masks. A whistle sounds, and it ends up Peterborough possession. That one through a crowd. Fooled Wendy and made an awkward save, which meant the rebound popped right out in front, and it results in a Peterborough Timbermen goal. That's Vredenberg wearing 16. So pardon me, we've been wrongly identifying him all night long, and problems there at the door, looked like, as an awkward hit coming off holding his side is Cole McWilliams. This time we're pretty sure he's 15. Shot going through, and Paris will pick it up. Nifty one-handed grab there from Armstrong. As Armstrong looking to send it to the far side, intercepted though by Ben. He goes around his back. Oh, the hands on Ben on display there in the last couple seconds. Jay, Muse, Caravello, shot saved by Paris. As we're closing in on the final minute here of the third quarter. Minute 5 with Warren at the restraining line. Now Brendan Muse, hard pass, looking to come all the way across the floor to Mason Wright as we do hit the final minute. Cole McWilliams up across center. Here's Fred Hartley. Hartley looking for the man on the crease, and Hartley goes skyward as McWilliams stared down the passer there as it was just wide. And now Reed Board with 35 seconds to Ferreira. And now Critch. Pardon me, I believe that's Laidlaw coming out of the corner. Board, Caravello a wide shot. Back for Ferreira, his low shot. He was collided with just as he released. 15 on the clock. And I didn't see a shot, but somehow the shot clock reset, and there's 5 seconds left. Brendan Muse takes to the floor as Wendy came off, and Paris will corral it. He sees the empty net. He'll go for it anyways, and on a fly, it's off the end boards. And 11-4 for the Toronto Monarchs as they've been rolling from the get-go. You're watching the Arena Lacrosse League, brought to you by the JVI Sports Network. Well, folks, it's last call here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center as Doug Udding gets tripped up off this face-off. Colton Armstrong will get it. 11-4, a long discussion between first Tim Bergen and then Joe Sullivan and the officiating crew about that non-reset. As Vredenberg sends that out of the corner. Wendy quickly making another save, a big factor here in today's game. Goaltending play of Craig Wendy, as it's been all season long. At one point, the Toronto Monarchs plus 25, I believe, in their goal differential, as this is brought up by Cole McWilliams, and cutting through the middle, Colton Armstrong sees an opportunity as him and Spencer James have shared words already today. Who hasn't shared words with Colton Armstrong, as he's been in everybody's ear hole, as he now puts a cross check on Reed Board in front. Board and Armstrong continue in front of the net as there's less than 10 on the shot clock. Muse to the far side. Caravello tap dancing around, give and go with Board, and Board tangles with Armstrong, gives him a chop, no call. Meanwhile, breakaway the other way, shot wide there by Nick Karam, and Karam went through the crease. So it will be Toronto ball. The only team that can catch Toronto for, which I don't believe there is a team that can catch Toronto. Toronto will have one more next week, as here's the shot and the goal. Ferreira's got his hat trick. If the Timbermen have the luck of the Irish and everything else you can think of in them for in this game here this afternoon, and can put Toronto at 9-4, and they lose next week, they'll finish 9-5, and a win by Paris would put them at 9-5. But either way, Toronto has the bye through to Final Four weekend. So it looks like Paris will get the second seed. As here comes a shot off the outside of the post and into the corner. Shot there from Jordan Critch. So Paris would play the lowest seed in that 5, 6, 7 bracket, which may be Peterborough if they lose here today. Wendy down the floor. He's got Caravello, who reached the wrong side behind him. Paris out of the net now. Stick handling all the way to the restraining line. Heads up on the bench, as I think he was looking for the front door and actually put it off the boards in front. I was wondering first if Caravello was going to take a run at him as he came out to play that ball. And then secondly, if he wasn't going to take a run himself. This time they do connect as Vredenberg. Pardon me, that's Blake Kenny. We had a couple number changes passed up to us, and this is Cole McWilliams. That hasn't changed all day. As Matt McLeod up top. Far side, Blake Kenny again. 11.5 left in the quarter as Berger comes over the top. His shot there. Did Wendy get a stick on that? He definitely did that time. That's a nifty pickup as well. And heads up here as Ferreira gets underneath of the outlet pass. Now they'll come back up top to Patrick Miles. Miles and Critch To the near side, Ferreira, Laidlaw. Cutter comes through, and the shot from Warren. Save made by Paris. He'll lift it to center where Doug Utting runs across. Under 11 minutes left in the quarter. St. Catharines, 1 game left. They can move into a tie with Whitby, who finished their season 7-7. As faking a low shot, Gillies turned away from it, picked up, and then over the shoulder, played there by Nick Karam. Playing the Karam on the far side. Big whack on Kenny right in front of the bench. They wanted a call, but none upcoming. So Adam J finds Muse out the Toronto door now. A shot high off the end boards. Bounced right to Colton Armstrong. And the outlet pass for the Timbermen bounces towards Craig Wendy. Here's Muse, far side. Caravello's going to slow things up now. As they head into the home stretch here, the Toronto Monarchs looking to wrap up. Toronto Monarchs looking to wrap up the top seed heading into the quarterfinals on March 31st. That ball made it all the way up into our press box. We've got less than 10 minutes left, and they've been top seed almost the entire way. A few weeks ago, when they played the Oshawa Outlaws, the Outlaws had an opportunity to at least tie Toronto for first place at the time, but that created a 2-game cushion. Pardon me, it was Whitby here 2 weeks ago. And Toronto, from that point on, just ran away with it. Collision here behind the play. Ferreira's down. Colton Armstrong was in the area. I didn't see what happened, but Ferreira's down, and they're letting this play continue here. And finally, Mark Thompson will blow the whistle. So Ferreira gets up off the turf. The trainer was with him on the way off the floor, but went off mostly under his own strength. This one's flipped back to Bergen, far side. There's a tip from Fred Hartley as it went towards Wendy. Down low, Adam J. 8:15 left. From the corner, Caravello. Muse thought he had it, took the shot anyways, but Stefan Borden. Nice play there as they go back to the crease again. Blake Kenny ate a big slash on his way to the net before jumping and shooting that one wide. From the wall, played back near side. Not sure if Gillen got a piece of that, but it ended up way high. Now ducking under the check and headed up and down the floor is Luke Laidlaw, and he's going to score all by himself. But he finally capitalizes this time after getting stuck out there on defense and then coming back. Blake Kenny took a little bit of a walk on the bench, but has now got back into position. Gillen kicks this face-off all the way over near the boards and then will win the loose ball battle against Utting. Now he's tripped up as Utting got the ball from behind. Here's Armstrong. Gillen dives at him, and Armstrong's going to run away with it. Back for Bingley. Caleb Bingley towards the crease and then collides with the net. And that's going to be our officials' timeout. Final 7 minutes and 20 seconds left here for Peterborough Timbermen to turn it on, but Warren's going to step in the crease. I was about to say that might even ice it if it hasn't been done already. A 9-goal lead as Brett Coons That ball that came up into our press box as Coons puts a shoulder into Spencer Janes. Oh, that would be a heavyweight matchup should it happen. That would be fantastic. I mean, nobody likes fighting in lacrosse anymore, right? Spencer Janes, that fired him up as he slid across and then puts Fred Hartley on his backside. Hartley fixing his helmet as he goes off. Luke Laidlaw in the corner. Muse will come up and throw the pick on Udding. Laidlaw to the front of the crease, and Paris. Hodgins tried to reach back across. Paris, who had left the stick side open and just couldn't quite get it past the wingspan. Now as Peterborough tries to go cross crease, it's tipped by Brandon Ben, and Paris will play this off the glass away from Reed Board. Up the near side, Colton Armstrong. And Peterborough, they know what the logjam looks like in the standings. They don't want to be the 7th seed. They're bringing Paris to the bench here. Extra man set on the far side, and they've drawn a penalty. It's picked up by Peterborough. 1 on the shot clock, have to get one away, and Wendy's going to cover up. From Nick Karam, a holding the stick call. Matt Hodgins now goes to the penalty box. It was only the 1 power play goal. We had a delayed penalty. Short-handed goal from Ferreira as well. Brandon Ben scoring on that delayed penalty. Here's Bergen in front, a nice play to open him up, and Caravello quick after the loose ball. He goes around his back, and that surprised Critch, I think. Critch wasn't sure where it was. Now Krepicek not sure, and then it gets flipped into the Monarchs bench, and they're going to say it was done so by Caleb Bingley. And that'll mean it's Toronto possession. Paris obviously back in the net. This ball lifted over the top of the entire set, as it's good to see Ferreira back out there. We saw him get attention from the trainer earlier on as Caravello through the top of the crease, and Paris with the save. Paris steps into this pass and quickly down the length of the floor into the stick of Vredenberg. Hidden ball play, and Vredenberg will keep it. Going there for Meikle into the corner. Meikle, now Bergen. Cutter in through the shot, and there a bouncer from Hartley into the stick of Craig Wendy, and Adam J with speed up the near side. He'll put the brakes on at the restraining line, and we'll get 4 minutes left in regulation and 30 seconds remaining in this Peterborough power play. So it does look now like Toronto will clinch that top seed as Laidlaw reaches for this one on the boards, and Armstrong finishes his check, as it will be Peterborough picking it up. 10 seconds left in their power play as Borden will push it there for Dan Meikle. A reminder that quarterfinals on March the 31st. Bergen, a bouncer, not officially a power play goal, but it will be the 5th of the game. Remind you fans to visit arenalacrosseleague.ca for the schedule, including times, teams, and venues for the March 31st quarterfinal games. As Vredenberg comes in, and that one skips off the glass. Wide shot, up and out of play. 3 winners of those 3 quarterfinal games, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. We'll head here to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center April the 7th to join the Toronto Monarchs. As they say, the Monarch player went through the crease. Paris getting the call again here with 3 minutes. Semifinal matches here April the 7th, and then the ALL Cup final game We'll see if the Oshawa Outlaws defend their championship or who else it'll be. Bergen from the outside on his wrong side to the crease and over top of Wendy. Near official sounded like he said crease. Far official said goal. This will be interesting. John Sutcliffe on the far side signaled goal. Near side official Avery Aidenboden. They discuss and they say goal. The ALL is regarded as the top winner indoor league outside the pro ranks, providing a high-level development league for players with pro ambitions. 13-6 now with 2 quick goals for the Timbermen. And it's a conversation off to our right that halts play as Caleb Bingley and Matt Hodgins are being escorted off by Mark Thompson. And Ray Dance not happy with that call. We are 5-on-5 as Gillen draws this face-off back right in front of his own bench, but then Utting able to recover the loose ball quickly down the floor. Oh, looking top corner, and it's off the top of the crossbar by Karam. We may not be done yet, but here comes Sean Gillies racing down the floor. Those bright orange sneakers. They just look fantastic with the yellow and purple jerseys, don't they? Here's Caravello, the shot. Paris looked like he made a save. Shot clock doesn't reset. Nobody's got possession yet as Armstrong pushed it towards the line. Ferreira doesn't go over and must not have hit Paris, as here he comes to the bench. And this may just be getting a good look at the 6-man set. Here in Arena Lacrosse, not a lot of time for these teams to practice, so while they're here in a high-speed situation, they'll get everybody on the same page once the games become meaningful. Chop down there. McLeod goes down at the hands of Patrick Miles. And Peterborough will get a fresh 30 with 1.5 minutes left to go. Be sure to subscribe to the JVI channel and sign up for notifications. You'll be notified every time we post a new game. As we get close to the quarterfinals, we'll have all of the playoffs, quarterfinals, semis, and the ALL Cup uploaded to our channel. I know some people have been asking for specific games. As Jay, they was chopping at the ball and it made contact with the helmet. He goes off here awkwardly, and paying attention to the head, that blue Toronto Rock bucket. Trainer immediately over there, and we've hit the final minute of play. And the Monarchs are going to look to just run this one out as far as they can, as it's a bouncer over to Laidlaw. They will wrap up the top seed with a 10-3 and counting record, and had the bye anyways to Final Four weekend, being the hosts, but they'll get that top spot, and they'll play here on April the 7th. If you're a fan of the Monarchs, this is going to be the place to be. 30 seconds left as it's shoveled towards the net by Cole McWilliams, and it sounds like the bench calling timeout as Peterborough picks it up. 23 seconds remaining in regulation time. So Peterborough with the ball here. As that whistle came, that negated the offsetting minors, and Bingley walked over and said something to the Toronto bench. So he's picked up an additional 10 here, which will spell an end to his night as Bergen goes to the far side. Vredenberg backing away, and that'll be tipped there by Gillen. Adam J back on the floor after taking that shot in the head, and he may get a goal for his efforts unless he just decides to run the clock out. Paris gets back in time, and I think that's a smart decision, as the Monarchs will put a cap on a 13-6 victory. Not 16 hours, I guess, 18 perhaps, after their 17-16 loss last night. They'll play here April the 7th, Final Four Saturday, and the ALL Cup on the 8th, but quarterfinals on March 31st. Visit arenalacrosseleague.ca. Gary Morrison's been our producer and director. On behalf of him, the rest of our JVI Sports Network crew, and the Arena Lacrosse, I'm Matthew Carrick saying thank you for watching, and we hope to talk to you next time.